Welcome to this video. We're going to be looking at scatterplots as one other way that we can be representing data. Now again, you've probably seen scatterplots before, but we're going to just go over and make sure that you understand how everything works there, and we have a bit of terminology to talk about too. Okay, so last lesson I brought up the idea of univariate and bivariate data. Univariate data has one variable that's being measured. Bivariate data is measuring two and comparing them. Last lesson we looked at the line graph, so comparing how a variable changes over time. So you can see it's a constant thing because time is constant. We can be checking that thing over time. In contrast, this lesson we're looking at the scatterplot. This one we don't have time involved, but we're still comparing two variables. So let's have a look at that. So a scatterplot. Here's an example of a scatterplot. We could have the titles like this: hours of sleep and height. So we could be perhaps measuring a baby and finding the average amount of hours it sleeps every night, and then talking about the height as a response. Now each one of these dots represents one baby that we've gone and we've recorded these things for. So we've recorded how many hours they sleep in a night, we've recorded their height, and we should have measurements along these two sides. And then we can tell that if they sleep this amount of hours and they have this height, we're going to put a dot there. So there's quickly what a scatterplot is. Each of those dots is one piece of data, or one relationship between the hours of sleep and the height. So we're now going to look at how we can make a scatterplot. As with any graph that we ever use, we need to make sure we're labeling our axes. So we've labeled them, and we've also put the units of measurement on there, and we've put the actual indication of where we are on each of them. We should have a title. Our title should say the reaction time of people compared to the amount of hours of sleep they've had. But I haven't put it there just because of space. Now we're going to go through and we're going to plot our points. So here we have gotten the first point. We've gone to hours of sleep, which is 6. Draw a line up from 6. Then reaction time 1.37. We work out that's about here, and we put our dot in. Next, we're going to have hours of sleep is 5. So we go to 5, put a line up, and then reaction is 1.4, so we put a line across. We're going to have a dot, which is pretty much there. We'll do the next one, 2.2, so line up. Oh, sorry, it's not very straight. And then 1.9, which is going to be, about there. You can see I should be using a ruler. But we get the idea, hopefully. So we go through, we put each of our dots on. You can check them if you want to. Okay, now we're going to look at how we can describe our scatterplot. I mustn't have animated very well because you can see there's things there. Now let's just bring everything onto the page. Okay, so we can talk about two different things when we're describing our scatterplot: the direction and the strength. We need to know how we can discuss these. So direction is just like in our line graph. Is it increasing or is it decreasing? So as we go, what would be in a line graph, as we go through time, is it increasing? Is it going up or is it going down? This time we don't have time, but it's the same shape or the same pattern we're looking for. So you can see here, this set of data is generally trending downwards. So we can say that they have a negative relationship, or they're going in a negative direction, because the values are getting smaller as the bottom variable increases. The next one we can see is increasing. They're a bit more spread out, but they are increasing. So we can say it has a positive relationship. The last one, it's neither going up or down. So we could say there's no association there. So that's the direction. It's talking about where we can see our data is moving to. Then we have the strength. So the strength is talking about how close, how bunched up our data is and how spread out it is. So data with really high strength is going to be as close together as possible. So an exact line, or following the line of best fit, is going to be perfect strength. You can see here that this one here is very strong. They aren't making an exact line, so they're not quite perfect, but it's very strong data. The next one is moderate. They've spread out a bit more, but there's still some strength there. We could also have weak. The bottom one there has no real strength at all because there's no association between it. So if it doesn't have a direction, it's not going to be close to any line of best fit. Yeah, so no association. Okay, now it's your turn. Have a go at describing this scatter plot. Okay, so hopefully when you look at it, you can see we have a line there. All the data is very close to that line, and the line is going up over time. So it's going to be a strong relationship because they're all close together and it's increasing over time. You'll have a go at describing this one. Okay, hopefully you can see there's no line there. So there's no association between it. There's no strength, no direction it's going. Finally, another go. Okay, here we have the line going down over time, so we can see it's decreasing. They're not as strongly connected to each other, so you could probably call it a weak and negative relationship. Okay, so that's this lesson. Hopefully you've understood that. If you have any questions, please ask me. Otherwise, continue with the work. Thank you.